Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries. The latest book from veteran author Vince McKee takes you behind the scenes of some of the biggest moments in Ohio high school football history. McKee has every big rivalry covered, from the Holy War to the Silver Rail. You can find Northeast Ohio High School Football Rivalries anywhere books are sold or online at Amazon.com. Gable Search Group. Founded in 2002, they help companies find candidates for most of their open positions nationwide. Gable Search Group is a professional placement firm located in Willoughby and only 20 minutes from the heart of Cleveland, Ohio. They specialize in areas of accounting, finance, legal, sales and marketing, information technology, engineering, and a host of other personnel. Their company can place an individual on a permanent or temporary basis nationwide. You can find out more about them today by visiting www.gablesearch.com or calling 440-951-9990. Start your career today with Gable Search Group. Airport Go-Kart. If you're looking for a fun time with your kids or friends, then head over to Airport Go-Kart at 16208 Brook Park Road in Cleveland. It's fun for everyone involved at a next to nothing price.
Welcome into Week 10 of high school football here, into the regular season. It is the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. We are here from Olmsted Falls as the 7-2 Bulldogs, 5-1 in the SWC, host the Berea-Midpark Titans, 5-4 overall, 4-2 in the SWC. It is the battle for the Bagley Cup, a huge rivalry here tonight. And it is one that has grown in stature, especially over the last quite a few seasons. High scoring, close matchups. We look forward to this one. It is going to be a fun one tonight. As you see, the Bulldogs running out onto the field, and they'll bust through the banner here in just a moment. About ready to get this game underway. Cole McDaniel alongside me, Dom Clary as always. Brandon Soder here with us again, and you'll hear him at halftime as well. Happy to have everybody joining us and tuning in. Dom, great to be with you. It's been a wonderful season. Hard to believe we're already at Week 10.
You know, Cole, I got my car, started driving to beautiful Olmsted Falls, and it didn't hit me until I pulled in, and I saw the senior night, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what senior night we're going to see next. Oh, we don't broadcast next week, Cole. We'll be on the road and going our separate ways riding. That breaks my heart, but you know, I enjoy this. This is, I mean, no better place than Olmsted Falls to call the game on the last game of the season. You know, not too many stakes here, but that trophy is something to battle for here, Cole. These are two teams that know each other very well. You have kids that may even well be neighbors or even live on Bagley. It might even be neighbors as well. So you have two areas that know each other really well. You know, you have a young school in Berea-Midpark overall, and they want to prove that they can reclaim the cup. You said they won it in 2018 when we were before we got on the air. This is a team that wants to say, hey, 2022, we're bringing it back. Not the year they wanted, not a bad year, but they want it to end it on a high note as they head into the playoffs.
Yeah, both of these teams, they want to win that trophy. They want the bragging rights over their rival here. You talked about it. Really next door neighbors here with these towns off of Bagley Road, and it's just going to be a fun one here tonight. It's a beautiful evening for some football. Hard to believe we're in Week 10. It's in the 60s. It was sunny during warm-ups. Just gorgeous weather. We've been blessed with great weather really throughout the whole entire regular season. Now, you talked about it, though, as well, about the bragging rights. But both of these teams want to prepare for the postseason playoffs right around the corner, and we talked about this will be our last live stream here, broadcast during the regular season. We'll all three here be splitting ways. We'll be on the road looking to cover games, and like I said, we just want to get to as many as possible, and of course the postseason requires a little bit more travel as we go and write. So make sure that you pay attention to KeonSports.com, not only for the articles this week, but make sure to pay attention to it next week as well. Now, taking a look at this one, talked about the records of these two teams, and looking at the Bulldogs, the hosts in this one, Last week, they had a big 56-31 win over the Avon Lake Shoremen, a senior-loaded Shoreman defense, and the Bulldogs said it didn't matter. They still put up points. They're on a 2-game win streak looking to make it 3. Obviously, it's an offense that clicks. They got a lot of firepower, a ton of key players. We've called their games a few times this year, and it's names that we've been calling for a few years now as well, Dom.
You know, this is a team, when you look at it, it's hard to believe that they're seniors because a lot of these players that have stepped up over the years have been sophomores and freshmen, and now 3-4 years later down the road, it's time to see them play one last time on a turf field. You know, it's sad to see that, but it's a pleasure watching this team because they've dominated along the way. This is a team that's impressive to watch. They're strong on defense. They bend but don't break, and they wear you out on offense. You think, oh, we can halt them, and then boom, 40-yard run by Rocco Connie, or then pin check right down your throat, or Candow, 60 yards. You never know what this team could do, a variety of options. I'm excited to see what this team could do, and they're led by a sophomore in James Roswell. This is an exciting team, but also a lot to talk about Berea-Midpark.
So the Titans will be kicking off from right to left on your screen. And the Titans last week, they picked up a 35-21 win over North Ridgeville, 3-1 in the last 4 weeks. See if they can pull off the upset on the road. This one up and fielded at the 25-yard line by Pinchek. Just a little bit of room, about 7 yards. He was able to surge forward there on that return. And the offense out on the field, and that wing T running based offense that, Dom, you love so much. It's predicated on some pre-snap movement as well as that offensive line just dominating the defensive line on the other side.
You know, when you have a wing T, whether it's a triple option or like a Georgia Tech wing T, Army, Navy, doesn't matter, Air Force, you want the defense to guess who has the ball, and you bet that they're guessing incorrectly.
Rossville under center, Pinchek in motion. Keeper cutting back, finds a little bit of space past the 40-yard line, up to the 41. Made a little bit of something out of nothing. It looked like he was maybe going to go out to the left-hand side. Saw that was cut off, and cutting back to the middle was the right decision there, making it much more manageable here on second down. 2nd and 3 from the 41.
You know, and that's that triple option there. It looks like it's going to Pinchek. Oh, maybe he's going to toss it to Conti. No, he's going right down the middle. He had an option to pitch it, kept it, and that was a smart decision there.
The handoff up the middle. Not much space there. Berea-Midpark doing a great job of stuffing that one in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the carry.
You know, if you want to make this offense limited, it starts with getting a push with that defensive line. You need your 3 to 4 defensive linemen to get a push that makes it harder for Pinchek, that makes it harder for the center and for the 2 guards to get a push. If they can't get a push, then you already know that fullback is not going to get the ball. There's only 2 real options in that triple option if you take away the fullback. Right now, it's a good job of taking that away. They've done it twice, even though they gave up a big gain on first down.
On the first drive of the night, facing a 3rd and 5. Here's the handoff. Room up the middle, and Derek Nakar finds enough space and really drops that shoulder, gets low, and forces his way past the 45-yard line, move the chains, and first down on the night for the Bulldogs.
You know, Cole, in this offense, even when it's handed off to the fullback, you never know who it could be. I have no idea who got the ball there, Cole, because sometimes even they like to mix and match people, and you never know who can be there. They do such a good job in just rotating young players, making sure that this team has an opportunity to win in the future.
Looked like Conti was going to come in motion. Instead, moves back and sets himself up again. A little stumble, able to get that ball to Conti. Conti gets out past the 50-yard line. Now there is a penalty marker down the middle of the field. I would assume this one's going to go against the Bulldogs. And it is a hold. I am impressed, though, by sophomore quarterback James Rossell be able to, despite stumbling and tripping, still get that handoff to Conti. Of course, ball coming back, and didn't necessarily work out there for the Bulldogs, but an impressive play there. But now a loss of yards, and going to be behind the sticks with a 1st and 20 from the 37.
I mean, isn't he a player that we've enjoyed watching this year? I know when we first saw them against Midview here at Olmsted, or no, we saw Brunswick first, correct? I believe we saw him at Brunswick first.
Brunswick
and
week 2.
And we thought, I wonder what we can get from this kid here. We've seen a lot. This kid is excellent.
Here's the keeper, brought down from behind. Devin Zahersky in the backfield, the big 6'4", 235-pound defensive end just chasing down the quarterback. And a loss of 3 yards. Now 2nd and 23.
I mean, that's how you get a push up front. Have to be consistent on every play against a team like this. But right now, I mean, they only have 3 down linemen. This is a team right now, they're limiting what Olmsted Falls can do. And if you want an opportunity, you have to be strong early. This is a team, we're going to give them 2-3 yards here in the first quarter. This is a team, those 1 to 3 yards eventually will lead up to 20 yards because they wear you out, Cole.
More of a pistol set there. Really interesting. Russell looking back to pass. Not finding anybody open. Rolling to his right on the run. He throws this one down the field. He has Pinchek and drops that one just about a yard too far ahead of Pinchek. Falls incomplete. Now 3rd and 23. Not ideal for the Bulldogs. Not really a team that they like to play behind the chains. This is a long way to go from the 34-yard line.
I think the stereotypical move is to maybe a screen play. I think that's what modern day football has come to. You know, it's a halfback slip pass. He kind of behind he's kind of behind the offensive line. Maybe you can do my favorite screen, Cole. You can have one where it's really downhill. You know, let's call it lightning or thunder because it's a thunderous play, big play potential where that wide receiver is moving right behind the offensive line.
Back to pass. Here is that little screen over the middle, finding Conti. Conti has some room. He slips a couple tacklers past the original line of scrimmage. He keeps going, and he gets to the first down marker, dragging defenders. And Conti up to the 42-yard line of the Titans. What an incredible play. That kid is something.
You know, there goes that slip pass. It almost looked like an alley screen the way it was set up. I think it was an alley screen. Dumps that right off to Connie. He has this big offensive line in front of him. He had to break a few tackles to get there. That's what you want a feature back to do, Cole. Get a few blocks, break a few tackles.
Extra 10 yards after contact, and that was impressive. It keeps this drive alive. Russell, the keeper, getting out around the edge. Nice gain of 5 yards on that carry.
You know, in a defense like this, when you're going against a triple option wing tee, even a veer option. A veer's a different type. We'll get into that when we see that eventually. But when you see triple option, usually what it is that you want your interior defense, your interior line to focus mainly on that fullback. You have your ends on the quarterback, and you have a linebacker, usually your will or whatever it may be, a buck, whatever you want to call it, right onto the running back.
Pinchek in motion. Russell the keeper. And Russell brought down really right at the line of scrimmage, maybe even about a half yard behind. Pinchek was well covered there. Really not much of anywhere to go, and that's credit to the Titans defense on that play.
You know, you really have to react quick because your reads are quicker compared if you were in a shotgun. Just because these are more of a quick hitter. That fullback's right there as soon as that ball is snapped. You have to make a quick decision. If it's the wrong one, you'll know right when you pull that ball from the fullback, and I think he found out right there.
3rd and 6 from the 38. Back to pass. Trying to avoid the pressure from behind. Devins giving chase and just running out of bounds. And that is now going to set up 4th down, but I think that was one where just get out of bounds, live to see another day. This is 4 down territory for the Bulldogs.
Wonder if they go with the bread and butter type of play. Or no, they're going to punt it here. I think it's just they're not enough in 4th down territory where they can pin the Titans and have a good opportunity on defense. I think they'll bet on their special teams and defensive units here.
Yeah, after the loss of 3 there, the offense was really staying out there. You could tell they wanted to stay out. Appeared like they were going to. Punting unit comes on a little bit late here. And they're going to send this down the field, try to pin back the Titans. Punt is up, fielded right about the 10-yard line, and maybe some room to run, getting her out around the edge, past the 40, past the 45, and brought down right at about the 47-yard line. And because that punt was a little bit short, allowed number 3, Austin Clay, the junior receiver, to get a head start. So he had some speed already built up when he caught that football, and he saw a ton of open space ahead of him. Nice field position now for the Titans.
That's a player we're going to have to look out for with that speed, right? I mean, Berea-Midpark, their whole shtick here is, hey, we're fast, we want to throw the ball, we want to be out in space. It's a true modern-day offense in the spread. They want to be quick. Their offense, they aren't the biggest, but they can move around. They can create space for their wide receivers, for the running backs, the quarterbacks. This is a team that loves to move out in space compared to a team like Olmsted Falls.
Senior quarterback number 7, Troy Schick, under center here, actually in the gun. Throws this one a slant, and he finds Austin Clay. So Austin Clay's second involvement here already after that big return. A nice catch, and that moves the first down marker there, and now up to the 38 on the 15-yard completion. Two receivers out to the far side. One to the near side. Devins to the right of Schick. Schick looking down the field. He wants this big shot. He's got his wide receiver down inside the 5-yard line. Austin Clay, back to back to back plays. He's a threat. Watch out for him.
Cool. I mean, Austin Clay showing his speed. Watch out, because he seems to be open on every single play. I think we might have found who Schick's favorite option here early on is.
Devins to the right of Schick. Handoff to Devins. Devins, the physical running back, gets the push into the end zone from 3 yards out. Touchdown Titans. Striking quickly here on the road, up 6-0.
With how that Olmsted Falls has been the past few years, I guess we almost expect them to be dominant, but right now this is Berea-Midpark believing in what they can do. Revenge from the last 2-3 years. This is a team that believes in what they can do, and sometimes that can be more dangerous than a team with a good record in championship hopes. Because right now Berea-Midpark, they believe what they're doing here in that locker room, and that shows it right there. Momentum's in this favor. The ball is back in Olmsted Falls' corner. What can you do now? Let's see if they can respond. But this Berea-Midpark team, they look good here to start.
PAT is up and good, and the Titans lead 7-0. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Of course, you're watching, once again, the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week here for Week 10, the battle for the Bagley Cup. Now, the Bulldogs on their first drive took their time, ended up getting put behind the chains and really had to come up with some big plays. Conti was able to get that big first down, but once they got into Titans territory, things fell apart just enough. The Titans were able to get the crucial stops, forced the Bulldogs to punt. Now striking back quickly, can the Bulldogs put some points up on the board? That hasn't really been a question all year. They probably haven't punted too much this year either, just because of how explosive that offense is. But this is a matchup between these two teams, and we talked about, yes, the Bulldogs were favorite coming into tonight, but last year it was a 63-49 Olmsted Falls thriller that they got that win. Last Titans win, 2018, 70-57. We'll see if we get a high-scoring matchup here once again, and the Bulldogs look to respond. And they're going to take this ball up right around the 35-yard line. And that is where the Bulldogs offense back out onto the field.
I know right now, if you're offensive coordinator, head coach, offense, we're better than this. We can do better than this. This is a team that can put up points on the board every single possession. All right, let's restart. That's okay. Let's put points up now. They're look to prove that here. But let's see if they stick to that triple option. I mean, it hasn't failed them all year. Let's see if they stick to it.
Well, there's plenty of good edge rushers for the Titans, and they got an excellent surge getting into the backfield, but the handoff up the middle. Gain of 8 yards there. Derek Necker, the junior. But talked about the Titans edge rushers. We've seen number 10, Devin Zahersky, in the backfield quite a few times. Also watch out for senior tight end and outside linebacker Josh Medina, and carry there for Necker again. Moves the chains on the first down and gets plenty of extra back into Titans territory.
They seem to rely on him here early. They like the young man there at fullback and gain a few yards. They can really just plug anyone in there, can they? I mean, this is a team that just cycles anybody in, and there's no drop-off.
Here's a handoff, third time in a row. Necker gets a gain of just about 10 yards. Such a physical runner there at fullback. Earlier in the year, we saw a lot of Jack Pinchek there at fullback, and now he's playing more of a wingback here at the moment. See him and Rocco Conti come in motion, so that allows the physical junior Necker to get plenty of touches there in the backfield. Listed at 6 foot, 205 pounds. Here's the pitch to Conti, looking for some space, trying to get around the edge. He swung out of bounds just a little bit past the 35. They're going to actually spot him closer to the 33 there. So a nice carry, excellent patience. And the 5-yard run moves that chain.
Now here's the efficiency that we see. It's not a pretty 10 yards when they get it, but it's efficient. It's what this team does.
Rossel under center. Gives it to Pinchek, and Pinchek meets 3 white jerseys directly in front of him. Brought down very quickly behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, they give up a few big plays there, right? Just a few 10-yard gains, 5-yard gain. But they're not giving up. I mean, this is a strong team. I know we've really talked about Olmsted Falls, but this Berea-Midpark, I mean, very early in this game, mind you, very early, they look solid, especially in that defensive line front. These linebackers seem to be buzzing, and they have a lot of people here on the line of scrimmage.
Going to more of a power I set, and Conti follows his fullback and finds a hole and gets forward past the 30-yard line to the 29. Gain of 4. 3rd and 6. Just under 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Going back to the power I once again. Here's a handoff to Conti again. He finds some space, breaks the initial tackler, and brought down at the 18-yard line. Great run for Conti. That's a look we don't see too often here, Dom, but they want to get back to it here quickly again. 3 times in a row to that power I. They want to give it to Conti again. Why not? Up to the 15.
Yeah, I think it's a case of, hey, let's not be fancy. Let's get some cheap yards. Let's kind of make them refocus on how they view our offense, then get back to our triple option when it's time and when we think that we've convinced them that we're a power I team now.
Just as it's been all season, a reminder that this trip to the Red Zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Timeout, Berea-Midpark. Going to talk things over defensively as a 2nd and 7 from their defensive 15 coming up here in just a moment. And the Bulldogs moving the ball a whole lot better than they did on the last drive.
You know, even though they are efficient, this Berea-Midpark team is not giving up. They're staying strong. They're making every yard a hard-earned yard. That's the way to play defense when a team that loves running the ball like this. Watch the play action, cornerbacks. Your job is to focus on the pass because they will beat you on that. Focus on that. Stay back on your heels. Don't be too focused on the run. We have 8 people focused on that. Do your thing. Right now this team is playing good. They've pretty much eliminated the pass early on. But this is where we like to see a little pop pass here from Olmsted Falls. Pretty simple wing T pass. Let's see if they want to utilize that here, Cole.
Rossel under center. Conti in motion. He gets the pitch, finds a hole, past the 15-yard line, and he does get forward for about a yard and a half, but a penalty marker is down, sitting at the 19-yard line, and it's going to go against the Bulldogs. And so a hold there, and that's putting them back behind the chains again. So some mistakes for that offensive line, for those blockers for the Bulldogs. Things that we don't see too often from them. They usually play pretty clean games.
It's pretty uncharacteristic for the Bulldogs. not a team that really, gets penalized. They're pretty clean on both sides of the ball. But right here, we're starting to see some mistakes. I just don't think they expected what they're getting here from Berea-Midpark. But usually this team responds correctly.
2nd and 18 from the 26. Handoff up the middle. Necker past the 20-yard line and gets forward pretty close to the 18-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage. 10 yards to go.
I don't think we've seen too much of Nectar the first 2 games we did. I don't think we did.
We saw him a lot at linebacker.
Yes.
Made a huge impact on defense. Very physical
But
player.
on offense.
Occasionally in the red zone he would come in, but again, that was Jack Pinchek was running at fullback, and he's playing more of that wing back spot off of the edge of the line of scrimmage and coming in motion. Looks like no Michael Candow here tonight. Rocco Conti, he gets the handoff. He's going to have enough to get the first down inside the 10-yard line, and he keeps stumbling forward. Looked like he was going to go down at the 9. Instead, down at the 5. Man, he's an unstoppable force to take down sometimes.
You just need I blocked for a back like him in high school where it was, hey, let's just get 2 yards, right, of a push in these inside zone, these gap, these power plays, and then just watch him run. Try to get to the second level, but with a back like him in this level is the only level you can get away with it, where you can kind of barely get to the second level, and this guy's already to the third level.
Pinchek in motion. Necker gets the carry, and he's going to be brought down, but in the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. A chance to knot this one up at 7-all.
So they hit you with that power, right? And then boom, hit you right back with the triple option wing T, Olmsted Falls style.
Minadio with the kick upcoming. Snap is good, holds good. PAT is up and splits the uprights. We're knotted up at 7-7. Just under a minute left to go here in the first quarter, and it has been a good one. It's living up to the battle for the Bagley Cup, because it looks like we're going to have a battle on our hands here tonight, Dom. So before the Titans offense comes out here for their second drive, again, they struck so quickly on that last drive, didn't have a chance really to talk about some of the talent that they have. Mentioned a few of those names already. Of course, quarterback Troy Schick, a senior. Talked about all the seniors for the Bulldogs. There's quite a few for the Titans as well. Schick, really going to see him in the gun a lot, looking back to pass. But next to him, Hudson Devins, a very physical running back, a sturdy running back, plenty of experience, carrying the rock for the Titans the last couple of years. You'll see him a little bit at linebacker out there on defense too. But again, he will make an impact there. He has the touchdown for the Titans here on the night. Josh Medina, the senior tight end, not only a very solid tight end, great on defense. Austin Clay, huge plays for him on that first drive. They really leaned on him after that punt return. Back-to-back receptions, 2 catches that drove them right down the field to get inside the 5-yard line.
So Clay's going to be a point of emphasis now for this defense. Watch if they try to lure the safety away with Clay and have something underneath the safety could be open here for them. Clay might be used as a decoy as his game progresses because of how good he's looked just on 3 plays alone.
This one, a driven kick. It bounces at the 5, fielded at the 1-yard line. And if the coverage unit can get down there, they can maybe pin the Titans back instead. Putting that head down, driving forward, out past the 20-yard line. And what could have been really dangerous actually ended up working out, courtesy of the smart heads-up play there by Hudson Devins.
Devins could have gotten that in the end zone for a touchback. He chose not to. I think he thought he was under a little bit more pressure than he was. But trust me, that special teams unit for the Bulldogs was closing in on him. I think he had 5-6 more seconds to really, get his feet in the end zone and get a touchback there. But nonetheless, I mean, they're in that same area. So this offense is hot and ready to go.
Two receivers to the near side. Devins to the right of Schick. Schick back to pass, looking to the near side. And that one caught, and the toes drugged there by Austin Clay, tiptoeing the sideline. Nice catch there, and excellent gain of about 6 yards there. They're going to officially give him 7. Titans taking their time, looking over the sideline, getting that call in. Again, the clock stopped here at the moment, following that catch. Two receivers to the far side of the field. Devins to the right of Schick. Devins on the carry, enough for the first down. Continue to keep those legs churning. A host of tacklers getting behind him, and he rumbles all the way down to the 43-yard line, actually the 42. Looks like the official started a little bit too far back. Corrects himself, so now at the 42, clock ticking down, 30 seconds left. Huge run there from Devins, and don't be surprised if the Titans begin to lean on him more than they did on the first drive.
Yeah, they really didn't need him on the first drive other than that one play. But here we have a running back that's really lowering his shoulder, able to create space for himself. Doesn't matter how many Bulldog defenders are in front of him. Whew. Devins, stay physical, young man. He could be a player that might end up on my top 10 running backs that I love watching.
Keeper from Schick, and the ball's out, and the Bulldogs are going to jump on it. And that's a huge play for the defense, waiting for the official call, but it looked like it was all blue jerseys, and there it is. This crowd going crazy. These stands shaking and rumbling. Turnover there. And Schick was just holding that ball a little bit low, and when he tried to sidestep the defender, that hand came down, swatted it, and it was all over for the Titans, stopping that drive. And that's going to be the last play here for the quarter, and we move to the second.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by All-in-One Services. Mike Zeck brings 37 years of experience with him to every job. Doesn't matter how big or small, Mike Zeck with All-in-One Services is the man to get it done. He can be reached at 919-909-7779 or online at allinoneservices.net. You can also email him pictures of the job needed to mzeck@allinoneservices.net. B.A. Sweetie Candy Company. The world's most famous candy company is right here in our backyard. They are located at 6770 Brook Park Road in Cleveland, and it is a candy lover's paradise. They have every candy from your childhood, so make sure to visit them today.
Back for the start of the second quarter here for the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. As it's all knotted up, 7-all between the Berea-Midpark Titans and the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. And last play of the first quarter, fumble by Troy Schick. Bulldogs fall on it. Good field position here as they come out, and despite going down 7-0 early, they have an opportunity now to put themselves in the lead, take the first lead on the night if they capitalize on this drive.
And this is a team, this is what they do. They give themselves opportunities to stay in the game, even if they're down. They keep on fighting, Cole. It's the MO here for the Bulldogs. They just fight. We got a timeout called.
Yeah, frustration from the coaching staff of Olmsted Falls directly out of the end of the quarter, start of the second quarter. You can't be burning a timeout there.
No.
That's a costly one. Some miscommunication out there on the field, and they're going to try to get things sorted out for the first play of this drive, first play of the quarter.
You know, Cole, I want to go back to that play for Troy Schick where he dropped that ball. I knew exactly how the meeting is going to go tomorrow morning for him. They're going to stop it right before, and they're going to say, what did you do wrong? He's going to put his head down, right? He's going to think about it for a second. He's going to put his head up. He's going to say, I held the ball like a loaf of bread. That's exactly what he did. Didn't chin it there. And that sounds funny, that, oh, you're holding the ball like a loaf of bread. But that's a term. Like just holding it around. It's out away from your body. You got to keep the ball close. It is, what is it, 16 ounces of pure gold is what we like to call. I don't even know if that's the correct amounts of ounces, but that's what we like to refer to.
Two receivers to the near side. The handoff to Pinchek as he was acting as the fullback there with the hand there in the dirt. Not much room there on that carry. Maybe gets forward for about a yard. Ball at the 46-yard line. So for everybody out there, if you have not already, again, we'd also appreciate if you hit that share button and post this game, the link to the game on Facebook, Twitter, all those sites, because we are in for a good one here tonight. And a handoff. No, the keeper. Looks like Rossell was going to hand that one off to Pinchek. Instead, decided to keep it himself and really lost maybe about half a yard there. Looked like he was taken down just a little bit behind the line of scrimmage. Now 3rd and 9.
Right now, this Berea-Midpark team, they're winning on the first 2 downs. The problem is 3rd down, it's when Olmsted Falls has to do unorthodox things with their offense. Throw the ball, screens, not running, not triple option, not the power I. That's when it throws things off, because now you're in a pistol formation, and this is just not Berea-Midpark has not really had this on their scout sheet.
Back to pass. Rossell looking deep. He wants it deep. Conti, closest one there. And that one's past Rocco Conti, just a couple steps ahead of him. And it falls incomplete. Now 4th down, and the punting unit back out on the field. Credit to the Berea-Midpark Titans. Their defense has forced 2 punts already early in this one.
I mean, and that's more than any team can really say in a first quarter,
Right.
at least a first quarter, because usually that's when Olmsted Falls is clicking on all cylinders. Right now, Berea-Midpark, you're making this team earn everything, and that's how you win downs as a defense. They're doing everything that they need to do to stay in this game, giving their offense another opportunity after the mistake.
So punting this one away to Austin Clay. Dangerous returner. This one, driven ball, and it's going to jump right over the pylon. And it looks like that one's going to be a touchback. Of course, the crowd, they were hoping that one obviously came out here on the near side. But again, when it goes directly over that pylon, that's out of bounds there in the end zone. Correct call there from the official. Very nearly an incredible punt there. So now Troy Schick back out on the field. Opportunity to correct his mistake, lead his team down the field here on this drive.
And right now you say, after that fumble, you say, that's not something you could do. Focus on the next play, right? You want a short memory, and right now, do you have a short memory? Let's see what he can do here. This is an offense that trusts him. The wide receivers look for him on every single play because they know how talented he is. Can he find his receivers here? This team is big play opportunity every single play they're out there.
Tight end in motion, trips right. Devens gets the carry in the backfield. Initially hits a wall, but it is able to redirect himself really there, get around the outside of the offensive line, and get forward for a nice positive gain and what looked like really nowhere to go initially.
Is he fun to watch or what? I mean, we've only really seen a few plays of him this year, but this makes us think like, hey, maybe we should have seen Berea-Midpark a little bit more, because right now they have a running back we like. Schick looks great. For wide receiver, that's been fantastic today. This is a team, we've only saw a little bit of them so far, like 5 or 6 plays. They look fun. Let's see what they can do here.
Gary Devens again, and that time brought down pretty close to that first down marker. We'll see where the spot is. If it's directly at that 30-yard line, then that moves the chains, and they're saying it is. So Hudson Devens, back-to-back carries, and you talked about it. He's looked impressive here tonight. Last year, wearing number 32 was great. Wearing number 5 this year has been very solid again. So it doesn't matter what number he is on his back. Hudson Devens knows how to run that football.
The man of not just many talents, but many numbers as well.
Just a little over 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Receiver in motion, the jet sweep. Matthew Sinsel getting out of bounds right at the 32-yard line. Gain of 2 yards on that carry.
When you run a jet sweep, you hope for a little bit more than, was it just 2-3 yards? But hey, that works. Makes that playbook expand a little bit more, giving you an opportunity to get a first down.
2 receivers out to the far side of the field, 1 to the near side Tight end in line here on the near side. Hand off to Devens. Devens swung down, got close to the 35-yard line. Makes it much more manageable here on 3rd down, but still going to be 3rd and 5 to go. Starting to get loud here on the home side, cheering on their defense. Empty backfield for Schick. Back to pass, over the middle, puts this one high and finds his 6'4" tight end. Great throw. And Zahersky moving the chains now for the Titans, up pretty close to midfield.
Is it nice to have an option that tall to throw to? I mean, it seems like you just can't overthrow him at this level.
Well, Zahersky, he's been in the backfield a lot on defense. Plays that down defensive lineman spot, defensive end. He's done a great job setting the edge. That time, tight end spot on the offensive side, getting up for the grab. Now, man in motion. It's another tight end, and Medina, Hudson, Devens, room up the middle, making a man miss, cutting back to the 20, to the 10. They're not going to catch him. Into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Titans.
Devens, 48 yards to the house. That's how you run the ball. This is a team that we expected to throw the ball, and they proved on the 3rd possession, no, we can be dominant. And that's exactly what they did. Their offensive line, they've been consistent getting a push. And Devens, he's patient, he waits, hits the hole, and even when he's 15 yards down the field, he'll bounce it back out, bounce it back in. Doesn't matter what it is. This running back has been impressive. This offensive line has been great. And right now they're creating opportunities for points, and that's what is happening on that scoreboard is they are now up 14-7. Cool.
Yep, PAT up and good, 14-7, as you said, Dom.
Cool. We got a doozy on our hands. We got a doozy on our hands.
Yeah, we do, that's for sure. And we've seen a lot of close matchups in recent times between these two teams. Talked about last year. High scoring, and I'd actually say that these two teams actually taking their time getting down the field. I don't know if it's going to be quite as high scoring as what we've seen in past years, but it might be even as entertaining, if not more entertaining, with how these two teams are performing. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bulldogs come right back and respond and tie this one up again. It's just got that feel in the air here tonight. Hudson Devens, talked about his ability. Listed at 5'11", 200 pounds on the roster. I would actually say he looks like 5'11", might be a little bit generous. Looks more like 5'9", 5'10" out there. But that almost works to his advantage. Being a shorter running back and then having that size and that physicality, he's tough to bring down because he's so stout and compact. But he also has speed in the open field, and you saw it in that shiftiness. He was going up the middle of the field, made a man miss, shook off a tackler, and then he was able to sidestep to the right, a little bit of a juke, and then found totally open space there. What an impressive run. We'll see much more of him here tonight. Just under 8 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. This one floated up, fielded at the 31-yard line, and brought down at the 36. So talked about this crowd here on the near side, the home side, getting loud, and we can feel some rumbles, especially on those 3rd downs or when a touchdown or a big play happens. A lot of credit over to Berea-Midpark. Of course, didn't have a far way to go, just coming down Bagley. But again, you see the student section, they're wide out over there on the far side. Again, their stands are packed over there too.
The Berea-Midpark, they do a fantastic job getting fans in the stands, whether it's here or in George Finney. They do a fantastic job. I mean, you can see all the blue and orange out there. Cool. They did a great job showing up.
Pinchek in motion, he gets the pitch. Tripped up and stumbles forward and gets to the 41-yard line. So he initially got hit there in the backfield, and he was falling forward, and nothing wrong with falling forward for an extra couple yards. Officially 5. Now 2nd and 5 here from the 41. Rossell in the gun. Something a little different. We don't see much of this. Conti, the running back to his left, gets the handoff, getting around the edge to the outside. He's going to get the first down, trying to cut back, makes another man miss down at the 50-yard line. Just give Rocco Conti the ball. Whether you're throwing it to him, whether you're handing it off to him, he's a ball player.
I mean, he truly is a talent here. And this is interesting. They're just doing a traditional huddle. Usually Olmsted Falls, they run a sugar huddle or a muddle huddle, if you will. Usually a little quicker.
Here's a pitch. This one a little bit low. Scooped up off the shoestrings and quickly brought down is number 48, Aiden Hurt.
Yeah, it was Josh Medina assisted with the tackle there. Have him out wide. Did a good job redirecting. I know we don't really talk about safeties or quarterbacks unless they're getting picks, but that's a good job redirecting. So I think he's a linebacker, but he's a good job redirecting himself. He was blocked, but didn't give up on the play, making it 2nd and long.
Conti in motion, gets the handoff. He finds a little bit of space, just enough to get him to the 45-yard line. Still going to be 3rd and 6 now.
You know, yes, it's 3rd and 6, but again, that playbook expands a little bit more. You can do a lot more with this team. I mean, they're still in running range. I mean, it seems like you have to be 40 yards out for them not to be in running range, but let's see how it changes here.
3rd and longer than 5. The Titans have been getting stops tonight. Can they do it again? Rossell on the run. He finds Pinchek. Nice throw on the move. Hit his receiver in stride, and Pinchek, another really nice play there, and excellent first down. Gets them all the way to the 28-yard line. And officially actually going to be spotted out at the 27.
Little play action there. Now, yes, he didn't actually extend his arm out, but you have 2 guys back there. He kind of pretends to hold the ball out, move him out in space. That's where he works out best.
Conti's in the slot to the far side. Instead thrown to the near side. Senior receiver number 12, Gavin Moore, down at the 15. Another first down for the Bulldogs, and they're moving nicely here right now. And this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. So now taking their time again. We discussed that more traditional huddles we're seeing here tonight. Just slowing the pace down. We've seen a little bit of that from both of these teams as well. Bulldogs trying to knot this one up. Here's the handoff, Conti. Conti gets hit. Again, he got those legs churning, picked up some speed, and he saw the pop, and it allowed him to fall forward at least. But he was met by several Titans there. Gain of 3.
You know, this traditional huddle, I mean, there's not really any point, like necessary point like other huddles. Kind of just get the play in the most efficient way. It's a little slower. A sugar huddle, everyone gets a signal but the offensive lineman, usually how that works.
Rossell hands it off to Necker and down at the 10.
No, I say sugar huddle, but if you're a little bit older, have been watching football a little bit longer, it could also be called a muddle huddle. A muddle huddle is more when everyone's already lined up 5 yards back. The quarterback says the play, class, everyone sprints to the line, boom, they get the play going. Sugar huddle, it's like that every time, and the wide receivers usually aren't in that. But, again, you can call it either way and get away with it.
Rossell under center here on 3rd and 5 from the 10. Handoff to Necker up the middle. Great push from his lineman. And the big fullback keeps those legs churning. He's down to the 3-yard line. Excellent run. 1st and goal. And they're going to quickly go and try to make a substitution off to the far side. And the Titans are going to have to burn a timeout, it looks like. And They were able to get that timeout in there, and that was smart, or else there was going to be a penalty going against them as they were trying to make that late substitution. Players on the far side quickly turning, diving off to the side to get off of that field. They did not expect the Bulldogs to go quick like that there.
You know, and Olmsted Falls does a good job keeping teams expecting the unexpected. You never know what this team can do, and even when it comes to a huddle change, that's just brilliant. I mean, this and that's not a discredit to Berea-Midpark's coaching staff, because they obviously done a great job scouting, preparing their team, because you don't play like this as a defense and offense as Berea-Midpark. I mean, they've 5 wins. Again, not a bad year, but they expected more wins. This is a team that has scouted well, and the players have responded well to that scouting report. Sometimes that all that it takes there, but again, these coaching staffs, it's like they're playing chess with each other. Just brilliant.
Now the Bulldogs coming back out and showing the look of that power eye. We've seen it a few times here earlier in this game. Conti gets the handoff, follows his blockers. He pushes his way forward into the end zone, and an opportunity to tie this one up again here at 14 following the ensuing PAT. So a 3-yard touchdown run for Conti. He had a big touchdown week last week. It was him finding his way to pay dirt many, many times. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the end zone here another time this evening. Menadio's kick up and good, 14-all between these two teams. So just under 3 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Plenty of time for the Titans to drive down the field as Troy Schick leads the offense out onto the field. Reminder to everybody out there, of course, at halftime, which that's coming up here quickly. Of course, a huge part of our 3-man crew, Brandon Soder, here with us this evening. You'll hear from him at halftime, give us the halftime update, as myself and Dom will step aside and take a breather, take a break. Also a reminder at the end of this one later tonight, Dom Clary, of course, not just the color commentator, also puts up the written recap article. Make sure to go check that out on keyonsports.com. Also sending out tweet updates for others out there too, and keeping stats. Like we talk about, really a man of many hats, doing it all.
I could do anything you throw at me, Cole. I can do a backflip if you give me a week to train. Promise you that.
Here's the kick. Low line drive. That one's going to skip at the 5-yard line. It's going to roll all the way through out of the end zone, touchback, and here comes the Titans offense, and Hudson Devins was the man that led that last drive, the running back. Really just a surge of running power. We saw the passing game be the primary focus there on that first drive. It was Austin Clay. Devins showed that, hey, we can run that football too, and courtesy to the offensive line, and credit to them too, that they opened up some good holes for him.
So similar to when Olmsted Falls was on the goal line and they had the huddle and then boom, ran right up to the line, we could see the unexpected here from Berea-Midpark. Run the ball a few times, try to pick up on a first down on 2 to 3 run plays, and then boom, play action deep.
Medina in motion. Schick pulls this one back on that RPO, finds his receiver over the middle. That's going to be enough to get the first down. Matthew Sensel.
Was that one who caught that, Cole?
Correct, Matthew Sensel, number 1. Smart read there by Troy Schick. Again, had the opportunity to hand that one off to Devins. Just saw his receiver open on that slant. Pulled it back and hit him in stride. Now taking their time. 2 receivers off to the far side of the field. The clap of the hand there from Schick. Going to keep it. He sees some green grass in front of him. Drops that shoulder. And that's going to be enough to get him past the first down marker. Gain of 11.
I like that. Lower the shoulder. Bulldoze himself for a first down. I love that. That's just a mentality that we like to see at this level with quarterbacks is, hey, instead of sliding, let me gain 3 more yards just by lowering my shoulder and forcing my will upon the safeties.
In the gun, the clap of the hand here from Schick. He's going to hand this one off to Devens. Devens looking for some space. Conti meets him, and he swung down after a gain of a yard. How about that? 2 really talented players colliding there and just meeting each other. Conti and Devens, that's a fun one to watch.
Running back on running back crime. That's like when Bosworth tried to tackle that guy that played football and baseball. The pro. Bo Jackson. Jeez, I'm young. Bosworth tried to tackle Bo Jackson.
Schick back to pass, and that one's intercepted, picked off over the middle. Necker, the fullback and star linebacker, and
What just happened?
looks like he fumbled the ball. It was taken away from him, and the Titans get it back. What are we watching right now? Wow.
Brandon has his arms up. He doesn't know what he saw. I'm laughing like a maniac. You're calling different things on the field than are happening. There's mayhem here on Bagley.
Well, after all that, the Titans offense now back out onto the field and
Fresh set of downs.
yep, exactly. Fresh set of downs.
Oh, I love football.
Football spotted now at the 36-yard line, and Bulldogs defense have to make another stand. I mean, Schick threw that one over the middle right into the arms of Necker, and I mean, we know he can run the ball. We've seen him a lot tonight at fullback, and maybe he tried to do a little bit too much. When he cut back, he lost it. And credit to the Titans, they scooped that one up so quickly. Most everybody here kind of missed where that football was. Stand shaking, press box shaking here. Making noise for their defense, the Bulldog supporters. Hand off to Devens. Devens finds some space and brought down from behind. Falls forward at the 45. Down to under a minute left. The Titans going to hurry it up. Plenty of time to try to get themselves in field goal position. 2nd and 1 from the 45, taking maybe a little bit too much time here. 15 seconds has come off of the clock.
You got to run a play there just to get the clock to stop.
Schick back to pass. Looking down the field to the far side. Floats this one up. And that one's hauled in by the defense, but I think out of bounds. Is in the direction of number 13, Braden Kupak. But out jumping him was Tyler Josity, the senior defensive back. We've seen him make some big plays here this season. Just couldn't keep his feet in bounds there. And the crowd continues to get loud. 3rd and 1. .34 seconds left.
They're going to take their time. I would expect them to run the ball here just to stop the clock.
And the keeper, Schick, drops that head. He's going to have enough to get the first down. Gain of 2. Stops the clock. 28 seconds left as a timeout's taken by the Titans. They're going to talk this over. So still some time to get down the field, but those couple plays took plenty of time off. Really burned about half of the time that was remaining, Dom.
Yeah, the time management wasn't there. And again, it's easy for me to say that in the box. I'm not down there with the clipboard. I'll be the last person to judge a coach off of time management because of how hard it is in each situation is.
Well, especially in high school football.
In high school, it's much different. I think that they probably should have ran the ball there, but they could have also been thinking, hey, they're expecting us to run the ball here. Let's see if we can get something deep. That wasn't what happened. Took a little longer than they wanted. I think the decision was made a little later than they wanted as well. For right now, they have 28 seconds. It's still plenty enough time to get down. 54 yards down the field to get a touchdown. You got to be quick though. Mainly passes. If they run it, I'll be very surprised. Kind of like how we were last week in a quick situation like this. He has a lot of options. See what they do here.
So if you're the Bulldogs, you need to key on number 3, Austin Clay, right now. But if I'm the Titans, I'm thinking about going to my big tight end, Devin Zahersky, throwing it downfield to him. Instead, a screen. Devins looking for some space. He's brought down just a little past the 50-yard line, down at the 47. Clock continues to tick. 16 seconds left. Titans need to get back to the line of scrimmage to run a play. 10 seconds remaining, and they're going to clock that one. Spike there. Now third down coming up, so a chance to throw this one down the field. Like I said, if I am the Titans, you have a 6'4" tight end, and he's every bit of 6'4", it appears down there. I would see if I can get him streaking down the field and launch one to him in the end zone, see if he can out-jump everybody.
So when you spike the ball there on second down, it's almost like you're playing Canadian football downs. It's like there's only 3 downs, only really 2 plays to do something with that. I'd imagine they would punt if it doesn't go their way here.
Schick looking out to the far side. He's going to step forward. He's going to throw this one. It's at the 20-yard line, the jump ball, and it's going to fall incomplete in the direction of Austin Clay. There on the coverage, Tyler Josity, and 1 second remaining, 4th and 4. So truly the Titans have the opportunity here to run one more play.
I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Of course, really the only danger here is if you throw this one down the field and interception, pick 6. That's really the only truly bad thing that can happen to you here with just a second left.
You get that prevent defense. They're really emphasizing the side that Clay is on. Oh, they shifted back to a normal prevent.
A screen out to the far side. Clay looking for some yardage after the catch, and he's not going to get much after that, and that is going to wrap up the half. We have a good one, Dom, here from Olmsted Falls. The battle for the Bagley Cup knotted up 14-14. And before we step away here for our Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week halftime show as well, I want to toss this one over to you. What are your thoughts on this first half so far, Dom?
I mean, what a game we got here. What a doozy. I mean, last year we saw a game between two rivals where it was close the entire way. We could have a treat on our hands with this one as well, Cole. I'll tell you what, did a good job picking this one because this has been every bit of a rivalry game. Boy, has it been fun. The second half is going to come down to it's going to come down to the coaching staffs. Both these teams are playing up to par, up to what we expect them to play as. Right now, it's the coaching staffs. It's the battle of the minds. Who finds a hole in the other defense? Who finds a glare in that offense? Right now, it's the coaching staffs that are going to change this game, something that we don't really look at the high school level. That's what's going to come down to the second half. And really in that first half, you saw the coaches battling back and forth when it came with different formations, came with different gimmicks, whatever it may be, they battled. These players have played well. Now, let's see what adjustments are made.
Well, we're having a great time. Hope you are as well, watching and listening at home, wherever you are. This has been great. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Like I said, Brandon Soder going to be coming up here with the halftime show. And then, start of the second half, we're in for a doozy of a second half as well. Make sure you stay locked in here on the Keon Sports YouTube channel.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Back Attack Snacks. They're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Car Parts Warehouse. If your car is in need of repairs, then the first place you need to call is Car Parts Warehouse. They cut out the middlemen and bring the service right to you. Find them online at carpartswarehouse.net. Cleveland Bakery Collective not only focuses on bringing together some of the best food and flavors in the Cleveland area, but creating a collaborative and supportive environment where local food artists can prepare, produce, store, and sell their delicious products all in one convenient location. Check them out online at clevelandbakerycollective.com. And welcome on in to the Keon Sports Halftime Show. It's Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week for Week 10. That is right, folks. We are in the final week of the regular season here in Northeast Ohio. I am your host, Brandon Soder. Again, Dom Clary and Cole McDaniel doing an excellent job on the call as always. And boy, do we have a game for you folks right now. Berea-Midpark traveling into Olmsted Falls for the Battle of the Bagley Cup. We are all tied at 14. So, score might be tied. This might be a very even matchup as we have seen so far, but you could not ask for two more different offenses and two more ways of putting points up on the board. Berea-Midpark, they were able to do it first, took advantage of a huge punt return after stopping the Bulldogs on a quick 3-and-out. Took advantage of that, got a big pass in there as well, and then able to punch the ball in for a touchdown. Olmsted Falls, though, responding right back, putting 7 on the board their own, but they're doing it through the ground game. Not surprising for Olmsted Falls. See a lot of triple option, a lot of guessing of where that ball is going to go, but again, doing a very effective job of running the ball. Took advantage of a huge drive there to, again, tie things up. Second quarter, almost the exact same thing, right? So Berea-Midpark able to stop Olmsted Falls early. They were able to put up points on the board. Another huge run for them. 54-yard break-off run for Berea-Midpark to give them 7. And then it's, again, history repeats itself. Olmsted Falls came right back, pounded the rock, did what they do best, took a lot of time off the clock, knotted this thing up at 14. Berea-Midpark did have an opportunity on their last drive to put some points up on the board. They started driving the ball. Kind of a bizarre play. Olmsted Falls thought they might have possession at midfield and a chance to maybe put up 3 before the half was over. They intercepted Berea-Midpark, but on that returner fumbled the ball. Berea-Midpark got the ball back with a fresh set of downs and could not capitalize from there as time did eventually run out. And here we are at halftime, tied up at 14. So a huge rivalry here, a Battle of the Bagley Cup between Berea-Midpark and Olmsted Falls, and it has lived up to the hype thus far. Make sure you stick around for the second half. If you are still watching, folks, make sure that if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and drop your nominee for the Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game. Right now, again, all knotted up, a lot of great performances, so if there's a player that you think deserves recognition, please put that in the chat. We take in consideration all comments as we kind of go through here and eventually name our MVP of the game, which is brought to you by Back Attack Snacks. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are at the end of the high school football season, but basketball just around the corner. Plenty of other great, exciting content for you as well. We have our NFL prediction show that we run every week with Cole and Vince. And again, lots of great content heading your way. So hit that subscribe button, be notified every time we go live and every time we drop new content for you. Last thing for you guys, KeyOnSports.com. You've heard us talk plenty about it. Just under 30 games being covered tonight by all of our talented writers and interns. So make sure, once you're done watching this game, head over to KeyOnSports.com to get caught up with all of the Northeast Ohio high school football action. See what teams won, what teams made the playoffs, right? We're in Week 10, some playoff spots on the line, so make sure you stay up to date. Best way to do that with KeyOnSports.com. Well, that'll wrap it up for me here. Brandon Soder at the halftime show. Your score, Berea-Midpark 14, Olmsted Falls 14. An exciting second half on the way here on Keon Sports. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Cleveland Fitness Club. They have it all: bikes, tracks, courts, and even pools. They truly have something for everyone and are open 365 days a year. You can visit them today at 6600 West 130th Street in Middleburg Heights. Climate Tech Inc. For 48 years, family-owned and operated Climate Tech has been the premier company for all HVAC services. For both residential and commercial, they have it covered. They offer free estimates on equipment replacement and 24-hour emergency service. Visit them at climatetech.com. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there's no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. Dick Esser Plumbing. Get exceptional plumbing repairs and installations for your commercial property from the experienced professionals at Dick Esser Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. They provide honest services and quality workmanship. You can find out more about them today at dickesserplumbing.com. Frankie's Italian Cuisine. Looking for a place to enjoy a post-game meal? Love Italian food? Frankie's Italian Cuisine has you covered from meatball to lasagna. Visit them tonight at 4641 Great Northern Boulevard in North Olmsted. Great Lakes Training. Great Lakes Basketball caters to athletes of all ages and experience levels with a wide variety of training techniques. Book your first session today at www.greatlakesbasketball.com or email Coach J at coachj@greatlakesbasketball.com. Helene Kia. Looking for a new or used car? Check out our guy Jim McConville at Helene Kia in North Olmsted on Lorraine Road. Jim is a trusted member of the auto community for over 20 years, and he will treat you right no matter your car buying need. Hinckley Roofing. They are your first choice in commercial and residential roofing. This family-run company has been around for 50 years and is your first choice in trusted roofing needs. You can find them online today at hinkleyroofing.com or call them at 330-273-2979. JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and insured contractor with the experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let their team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463 or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare insurance, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or give them a call at 330-304-7267. Jenny's Popcorn. You can find their flavors anywhere popcorn is sold, including Giant Eagle and Mark's. Visit them online at jennyspopcorn.com or in person at 38727 Taylor Parkway in North Ridgeville, Ohio. They have everything from butter, cheese, caramel, and everything in between at this popcorn paradise. Jerome, Grauer, and Associates. They handle estate planning and their steps are so simple. They handle everything from simple wills to complex trust planning. Contact them today for your legal needs at 216-241-9990 or check them out online at jeromelaw.com. Julie Dangerfield of Keller Williams Realty. Julie has the experience, knowledge, and determination to get the job done. Contact her at 440-309-0396 or by email at juliand222@gmail.com for a complimentary market analysis of your home value today. Kelly McLean Achievement Center, the premier resource for high school athletes who wish to continue to play in college. They provide a one-on-one consultative approach to help students determine their needs and goals. Visit them online at kellymac.com. Makeaway Dumpster. At Makeaway, customers get discounts on days and prices. They offer 24-hour delivery in most cases, along with 10, 15, 20, and 25 cubic yard containers. With Makeaway, there are no hidden charges for drop-off, pickup, or wait. Find them at makeawaydumpsterrental.com. MDG Flooring. If you're in need of quality flooring for your home or office, look no further than MDG Flooring America in Medina. There is nothing that Steve and his talented staff cannot handle. Call them today at 330-725-5252 or stop in and visit them in person at 3812 Pearl Road in Medina. Nancy's Main Street Diner. They only prepare your meals with the freshest ingredients. The dishes are made to order as they never use heat lamps and they take no shortcuts whatsoever. They're located at 426 Main Street in Grafton, Ohio. Nancy's Main Street Diner is your choice for all 3 daily meals. Play CLE. Play CLE is the ultimate indoor adventure park in Northeast Ohio. With zip lining, ninja obstacle courses, climbing walls, and the area's largest indoor ropes course, Play CLE is the best option to get inside and have some fun and adventure. It's the perfect place for your next team building event, birthday party, or field trip. With an on-site bar and kitchen, Play CLE makes sure you are properly fueled to reach new heights. To learn more, visit playadventureparks.com or stop by the facility in Avon off 611 and Chester. Salad Craze. Looking to eat healthy and go away happy? Try Salad Craze. They have been voted Cleveland's healthiest restaurant 4 years in a row. Stop in for yourself and find out why at 690 Avon Belden Road in Avon Lake. You can check out their menu at saladcraze.com.
back for the start of the second half. The battle for the Bagley Cup here from Olmsted Falls. Week 10, Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Cole McDaniel, Dom Clary, we stepped aside, got to take a breather, take a brief break. Again, a shout out to Brandon Soder. Love me some Brandon Soder with that halftime show there, and big shout out to him for giving us the recap. And with that recap, again, talking about really a great game. 14-14 between these two teams. Really just an SWC battle and such a great rivalry. We talked about this one coming in. We expected it to be a really good game. It has definitely delivered and lived up to that. Now, football is always a tale of two halves. Sometimes in these close games where you see it be neck and neck in the first half, you see a team come out, they really step on the gas and take that lead. Can it be the Bulldogs here at home? Can it be the Titans on the road? We'll wait and see. Or can both of these teams get things firing and keep this one close all the way down to the wire, give us a thrilling finish? Great that this one was our Week 10 Game of the Week. Great selection by us here. We're enjoying every moment of it. Hope everybody out there, whether you watch this one live or you watch the playback of this, enjoy this game. So Dom, as we come out, get the second half underway here in a few moments. At the end of the first half, you talked about what you saw out there, how competitive it had been, how great of a game it had been. If you're the Berea-Midpark Titans, on the road, it would be an upset if you win this one, but you were expected to maybe test the Bulldogs here, and you've done so far. What do you do coming out of the locker room?
You want to strike fast. I know it's easy to be said there, but run the ball with Evans first off. Keep feeding that beast in the backfield that you got there, but also set some things up for Troy Schick. When the Bulldogs expected him to throw, he struggled a little bit. He leaves a lot of air under the ball, right? He can throw the ball far, but not a lot of zip to it. He has to keep some air under it. The play action will allow him to kind of, throw the ball a little bit deeper without having zip. When you have those safeties pressed up, have those linebackers playing on their toes, they need to take more advantage of that. They took some shots there off of play action, but not as many as you'd like. I'd like to see that more here for the Titans as we start the second half.
How about for the Bulldogs on their side? What do they do here in this half to maybe find a way to get their first lead of the game? They've been trailing or tied this entire first half.
Well, first off, keep the pace with your offense, right? Something's got to give on their defense. That has to be your mentality, right? With Olmsted Falls, everything that they do is we're going to be strong, we're going to be quick, we're going to be fast, we're going to jam everything together and then move Rocco Connie out in open space. They have continued to do that. It hasn't been as effective as it usually is, and that's because you're going against a good team today, Cole. On defense, on the other hand, you have to smother them. You can't let receivers get open. You have to be quick on the run. Maybe add another defensive lineman. They usually only have 3. I think that's what they have today, to add another second player in the secondary. You need to be dominant on that front line. Right now, Berea-Midpark, they're getting the upper hand on that offensive line battle. Right now, it's a battle of the trenches. Whoever wins that's going to win this game. And I know, of course, the offensive lineman's saying that. But for this game, I truly believe that. You have two teams that are running the ball well. Which offensive line is going to continue to dominate, and what defensive line is going to make a statement?
So Noah Minadio, the senior kicker for the Bulldogs, set to kick this one away, get the second half underway. Kicking from left to right on your screen. 3 back deep to return for the Titans. This one, a short kick, and that one had some backspin on it. Diving forward and scooping that one up, fielding it at about the 37-yard line. And here comes Troy Schick and the offense. Hudson Devins, of course, a good first half for him. Same with Austin Clay. We'll see if they decide to go to the ground game or start to come out really going through the air like they did to start this game.
I would guess here, Cole, that the run game is going to be a point of emphasis here for the Titans. Again, this is a team that likes to air out the ball. Let's see what they can do when they keep the ball on the ground, use a little play action in their favor. Once again, they have a small offensive line. Not very big, but they're quick and they can move. Take advantage of that. Make that work in your favor.
Devins to the left of Schick in the gun. Fakes that handoff. Instead throws that slant over the middle. They've gone to that play a time or two here already. Austin Clay finds a little bit of space. And on the completion, picking up the first down on the first pass attempt here of the half. 1st and 10 now from the 45. Two receivers out to the far side of the field. Clay, a guy to watch out for here on the near side. Schick, clap of the hand. Hand off to Devins. Devins shows some patience. And then after getting forward for a gain of 2, he's popped by Pinchek.
See, I like this balanced attack. It's more than you usually see compared to other teams, not just in this conference, but the area. They like to not just spread the ball on the ground, but also throw the ball in the air. It keeps the defense guessing. It keeps your offensive line fresh.
Schick in the gun, looking to throw this out to the far side, and short arms that one. It falls incomplete in the direction of Kupak.
So one thing I'm not a fan of is that when this offensive line they get in their drop, they get in their set, they just backpedal. I don't like that. And again, it works for them. It works for them. I feel like they're not putting their offensive line in the best position here. But again, the offensive line coach and the coaching staff, they know best for their group. But I just haven't really seen that before.
3rd and 8, Schick looking over the middle, thought about it, brought that ball back down, looking down the sideline. It's intercepted on the sideline, hauling that one in. Big play by number 3, Mark Vance, the senior defensive back.
We've called his name before, Mark Vance. I'm pretty sure he made a lot of plays last time we were here.
Yep.
He's a player that every time we see him, he just shows up and shows out. He says his teammates embrace him. What a fantastic play. Was able to jump it there. Little air under the ball as he, as I believe there is a turnover belt that he is receiving. Yeah, he deserves every bit of that belt. Yeah, there it goes. love me a turnover belt. There he goes.
And here on that first offensive play, Rocco Conti finds some space. 1v1 with the defender. He makes a miss. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. To the 20, to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Responding, getting the touchdown after that turnover. What a huge run there by Rocco Conti. First play of that drive. First offensive play for the Bulldogs of the half. And their first lead on the night.
Rocco Conti, 82 yards, I believe, to the house. I mean, funny enough, he was almost got ran over by one of his blockers and was able to then use that to his advantage, found space. Wow, what a switch in momentum that we've seen here. This is just what this team does. I mean, they play strong defense. They're waiting for your mistake to pounce on it, and boom, they just run their offense. They don't do anything different than they did in the first half. It only took them one play. That's how good Rocco Conti is. That's how good this offensive line is. That's how good this entire team and coaching staff is. That's a dominant team right there, Cole. But Berea-Midpark, they have to respond if they want to get that cup.
Well, the 5'9", 190-pound really wingback here in this offense, and Rocco Conti, a guy who really does it all. He's physical when he runs that ball, really can get those legs churning and makes tacklers miss. He has excellent vision. But you can't forget about the speed in the open space. And when he saw that opportunity to really hit that hole, he went fast. Really just had to make sure that Braden Kupak couldn't bring him down at about midfield. Little stiff arm, shrugged off the tackler. Nobody was catching up to him there, and he would have kept on going out of the stadium. I mean, he had so much room to run. Huge play, and the Bulldogs, a lot of energy, a lot of momentum now going their way. Beginning of the second half. Minadio to kick. This one, floats this one to about the 15-yard line here on the near side. Devins catches that one. Patience. looking for some space and brought down at the 29-yard line, and that is where Troy Schick and the offense will come back out onto the field. And at this point, yes, you want to get your quarterback where he's throwing some completions, where he's comfortable, get him settled in. But I think right now, we're on the ball with Hudson Devins.
Yeah, he needs to be a player that you just feed the ball here. He'll open things up for your pass game. I know right now, you know, Schick kind of feels that interception a little bit more than usual. Stay patient, keep running the ball, stay strong, good things will happen.
So 10.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. And can the Titans now respond on their second drive of the second half? Medina in motion. Schick to pass. Finds Medina. Medina hit as soon as he caught that ball and turned, and he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard.
I think they'll say that he got hit right at the line of scrimmage. Still think it's 2nd and 10 to go here, Cole.
Yeah, of course, giving him that forward progress, it looked like might have lost a yard there, but you were correct. So 2nd and 10 officially. Ball on the 29. 2 receivers here to the near side and 1 to the far side of the field. Devins to the left of his quarterback. There's a clap of the hand and the snap. Schick throws it to Kupach. He's going to get enough to move the chains past the 40-yard line. So just soft cushion there by the defensive back, and Kupach, all he had to do was turn and saw that Schick was able to put it on him. Nice yards after the catch as well. Here comes that big tight end, number 10, Devin Zahersky. End of the game, and the offense taking a look over the sideline, waiting for that offensive play call there.
Some new players on the offensive line here, Cole. Not sure who they took out, but there is a change, though. That left guard's new.
Schick looking to pass, and that one batted down, falling incomplete, dangerous there. And Olmsted Falls knew what was coming because they've seen that play a few times, little RPO, and pulling that one, throwing it to Austin Clay. It's worked a few times for the Titans. That time, it did not. Following the incompletion, now 2nd and 10. Still that same set, 2 receivers off to the far side of the field. Schick looking back to pass. He's scrambling, pressure from behind, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds past the 45-yard line. Officially at the 47-yard line. So a gain of 6 there. 3rd and 4 coming up.
You know, when he scrambles, other than that one fumble he had, he's been efficient. He can move on his legs. I think they'd rather see him in the pocket, but he can move.
3rd and 4. And the crowd getting loud here on 3rd down once again. Such a great atmosphere here at Olmsted Falls. Keeper for Schick. He should have enough to get the first down. He's going to get more if he can get a block out ahead of him. To the 25, inside the 20, pushed from behind, past the 15-yard line, and out at the 13. Great keeper there by the senior quarterback, Troy Schick, showing off the speed that he has there and getting those blockers out ahead of him.
Like I said, that kid can run. Need to utilize his feet just a tad bit more. I mean, he only has that's 5 rushes on the day, including that fumble he had.
Now this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. From the 13-yard line, here's the handoff. Devins trying to bounce around the outside. He's not going to find much room at all. About a yard there on that carry. Just a wall of blue jerseys, making it tough for Devins, and made a business decision just to step out there rather than try to cut this one back. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Sometimes you just got to take the yards in front of you.
Right.
Sometimes doing too much can result in a negative.
Well, sometimes when you run a lot of east and west on a given play, sometimes it can work out, but sometimes it can end in disaster. Probably smart for Devins there to not try to come back the other way because, again, 2nd and 9 from the 12, you're pretty close to the end zone. Schick fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, going to throw this one out of bounds, live to see another day. Smart throw away.
Smart decision by the senior quarterback. We've seen him force a little bit here today. But I think he said, hey, we still have an opportunity. We might use 3rd and 4th down. Let's see what we can do. Let's throw this away, regroup, get the play. Let's make something happen here. Won't be surprised if there's a run here. If they plan on using that 4th down as an extra play, or if they kick the field goal, I don't know what they'll do. But and this team's MO is throwing the ball. Let's see what they do here.
Tight end in motion, Medina. Schick, the keeper, and he's tripped up. Great tackle in the backfield, making the play there is number 26, Colin Singleton.
There's no special teams unit moving back there. Oh, they made a timeout, so they're going to talk about this. I think this is more of a what they're going to do on offense, not a put the special teams unit in.
So we have a 4th and 7 coming up from the 10-yard line, and it appears like the offense is going to come out. They're going to talk this over during the timeout, figure out what play they want to run. Something that was interesting on that last set, though. Sometimes when you get down in this position, hey, you're down right now, you want to find a way to get the points. You have to put some of your most talented, best players out there on the field. We saw a 2 tight end set as we actually saw Zahersky really go out. He was more of a wide receiver there on that play. Medina was the inline tight end. And then, of course, you saw Austin Clay out there on the field, plus Matthew Sensel. Wouldn't be surprised if they run those same 4 guys out there to be those targets for Schick to look for. Instead, a little bit of a change here. Number 13, Braden Kupach in the slot.
Empty set here.
Yeah, and a lot of noise. And looks like there's going to be a timeout now for the Bulldogs as they want to talk it over. They wanted to see what the Titans came out in there and playing a little bit of chess here tonight.
I told you it's exactly what happened. These coaching staff on both sides are kind of just feeling it out, trying to outplay each other. But you want to make sure you don't overcoach. That's like my least favorite saying. Don't overcoach. Sometimes you're trying to put your team in the best position to win, and sometimes you can do too much without knowing it until it happens. I learned that at a young age from my dad. He was a basketball coach, and I just know sometimes you go home and he'd be watching films like, man, I overcoached today. Sometimes you just got to let your players play, but right now these coaches, they're doing whatever they can to make sure these kids are in the best positions to succeed.
So 8 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. A lot of time in this one, and Titans knocking on that door. But we know the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, they have a good defense. They have experience in the secondary. They have a physical front 7. And we'll see if they can also generate some pressure on Troy Schick and not give him time. As it's going to be an empty set again. Hudson Devins comes out to the the near side here. And Schick stepping up, pressured from behind. We'll see if he can get there. And he's brought down just short. Took a big hit for running there. And just about a yard short there. And we'll see exactly where they spotted, but I'm not sure if he got there.
That's close.
It's really, really close.
Wow.
Just short. Big stop for the Bulldogs on 4th down. Turnover on downs for the Titans.
If I'm Berea-Midpark right now, I'm asking for them to measure that. I don't know if you can even ask for that, but you almost have to say, hey, can we please get a measurement? I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, and it looks like coaching staff coming out, talking a little bit, asking questions. And
the ball gets moved up.
Yep.
Why is that?
Looks like there was a penalty marker down. Maybe something said over there. So 15-yard penalty because that ball again was at the 4-yard line. So moves the ball to the 19-yard line, and that's now where the Bulldogs offense is going to be out on the field.
And you do not want to be playing behind these Bulldogs here if you're the Titans.
Rossell keeps this, pitches to Pinchek. Pinchek has some space, turning on the Jets past the 50-yard line and out of bounds at the 48. Smart decision there from Rossell, and Pinchek showing off his ability. First and 10 from the 48.
You know, they needed him there out in the wing today. Usually he's at fullback. He's just made the best of it playing on that wing spot, doing wonders for his team.
Also under center, handoff, and really having to avoid some tight ends as they're able to surge forward and dive and trip up at the feet of Conti. Conti actually a little bit of a hurdle, but didn't do much good. He wasn't able to escape the other white jerseys. Loss of 4 on that carry. Now back on the Bulldog side of the field.
That's a little counter of sorts. Again, usually it counters when you kind of fake to the left. There's, you know, pulling and stuff going on, but her counter is a little bit different because of the offense they run.
Rossell to pass, finds Gavin Moore, catches that one, and dragging the defensive back. Making something out of nothing there, getting really an extra 4 yards after the catch, and he's going to get very close to the first down marker. Looks like it's going to be just a little bit short. 3rd and 1 from the 39.
I mean, just a tough physical player. In any other offense, he would be featured a lot more, but they like to utilize him as much as possible, even despite the wing T that they run. But they do give him the ball when the opportunity shows.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that keeper of the middle, and there it is. Rossell gets that push from the offensive line. He got the yard he needed and one after. Thrown down at the end, a little bit frustrated there. Thought maybe he could have got a call. That he felt like that hit was maybe a little bit late, but Tom Mordarski was the one who threw him down, the defensive back. First down for the Bulldogs, keeping this drive going. And if the Bulldogs can go up 2 scores, that's going to be just a huge swing of momentum, as it really feels like it's going the way of the home team here at the moment, up 7.
Yeah, this is what they do. They wait for you to make a mistake, they capitalize, and they don't lose the lead.
Rossell pitches it. Conti, burst of speed, and brought down close to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 7.
They utilize their playmakers. They have quarterbacks that just seem to always make the right decisions. They're athletic, have arm talent. This team just really does it all. Has an offensive line that's just built around dominating the line of scrimmage.
Conti lined up directly behind Rossell. He's going to get the carry up the middle. He's got a big block in front of him, a lot of space. He's going to make his way into the end zone. Touchdown once again, Rocco Conti. You want a guy to get into the end zone, just give the ball to Rocco Conti. He continues to do it time after time. Bulldogs up 2 scores.
If he gets back past your second level, he scores a touchdown almost every time, it feels like. His breakaway speed is remarkable. That kid can fly.
27-14, now an opportunity for Minadio to split the uprights here for the PAT. Put his team up 14. Holds good, the kick is up, and it is good. 28-14 after a tie ball game, 14-14 at the halftime break. The Bulldogs coming out of the locker room, showing that intensity defensively. They've had some huge plays, especially that stop there on 4th down, and really it's been 2 turnovers there. What you've seen, well, really the turnover, the interception that Schick threw, and then you saw the exact same play, 1 play later. Rocco Conti, a huge 82-yard touchdown run, and then the turnover on downs, huge stop defensively as the Bulldogs defense backed up a little bit against their own end zone, and then just a nice sustained drive, piecing that together, and really everything going the way of Olmsted Falls. But if you're the Titans, you had a great first half. You're not out of it. Maybe an opportunity here. You were driving on the last drive, just weren't able to capitalize. This time, though, you feel like you need to capitalize to get something going your way.
You're not out of it yet. Put up a point here. Most likely, or ideally, pardon me, is a touchdown for this team. Let's see if they can get things rolling again. We've seen crazier things, Cole.
Yeah, that we have. A lot this season and in prior seasons as well. 5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The kick from Minadio, low line drive, fielded at the 15-yard line. Looking for some space on that far side, meeting a wall of blue jerseys, and gang tackled and driven back. Only up to as far as the 26-yard line was number 3, Austin Clay.
Let's see if they just straight up try throwing the ball here, if they still incorporate that running game that's worked for them. Kind of moved away from it in a way, but the Bulldogs defense has really jumped on it. Let's see what they do here. I imagine Clay is still involved in this offense. He's been great for them today, despite not having a touchdown. Let's see if they can get one for him here. He's on an island.
Yeah, he's matched up against Mark Vance, very talented defensive back himself. Schick rolling to his left, decides to cut back, going to run this one, and he's brought down after a carry that gets him to the 30-yard line, gain of 4.
Still a solid gain. I don't think it was what they intended, but hey, 4 yards on 1st down. We'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, that was called as a pass there. Nobody was open here to the near side and made the smart decision. Schick is not afraid to tuck that ball and run it. Now as that clock ticks down, just a little over 4 minutes left here in the quarter, taking their time. 2 receivers to the near side of the field. Devins in the backfield. Schick in the gun. There's the clap of the hand, the snap, back to pass. Pressured and brought down. And there's a penalty marker I see at about the 39-yard line. And with where that's located, I wouldn't be surprised if this one's maybe a hold on one of those defensive backs for the Bulldogs, but we await the call from the official. There you have it. There is that hold going against the Bulldogs. So the Titans going to get some extra yardage. So the ball now moves up to the 41-yard line following the 10-yard penalty. Mentioned that fresh set of downs now for the Titans. Kupach and Clay here to the near side. Schick tried to look for Devins there, and that one was batted down by Rocco Conti.
Are there 2 of him on the field?
If that, there might be like 4 or 5.
He's duplicating, Cole. He's duplicating.
That man is all over the football field. Man, the Bulldogs are going to miss him in the future because for years he has been an impact player here for this team, and he gets better and better every single year.
He's so good. You have to I mean, as not just a broadcaster and a writer, but as a fan, you have to hope he plays at the next level, you know?
Right.
Selfishly, you hope that he does that.
Here's another guy that should really play at the next level, Hudson Devins. Now he slips down as he tried to cut back to the line of scrimmage. Of course, we talked about all those seniors for the Bulldogs, talking about the team that's on defense here now. Of course, it was senior night for them, last game of the regular season. Can't ask for a much more exciting game here for senior night. Third down for the Titans. They got 10 yards to go. Empty backfield for Schick. Throws this one over the middle, and this one's going to be intercepted once again. Necker, he's picked it off twice now. The middle linebacker just dropping into coverage. And this time on the interception and the run back, he didn't fumble and give it back. The Bulldogs going to have excellent field position at almost the 30-yard line.
This secondary has stepped up their game here in the second half. They've been all over the place, causing mayhem against this offensive line here for the Titans.
So following the interception, a hold on the return. So still going to be Bulldogs football, but the penalty results in a loss of 10 yards there. So not as great a field position, still really good though. They're going to start at the 40-yard line on the Titans side of the field. There's a lot of time in this game, but you feel like if they put a touchdown drive together here, it's going to be a huge mountain for the Titans to climb. Russell wants Pinchek. He finds him. Pinchek breaks off a huge gain there as he spun off of the tackler. That was Brandon Prescott, the defensive back, that Pinchek bodied and spun off of it, and then he's brought down inside the 10-yard line. Now inside the first down, inside the red zone with the first and goal. Actually, no, it's going to be at the 11-yard line, so it's actually going to be just first and 10. First down spot is going to be at the 1. A reminder that this trip to the red zone is brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Rossell hands it off. Pinchek, who just had the huge play, he's going to find his way to the end zone. There's that touchdown for the Bulldogs. 35-14. The second half looks very different. And the Bulldogs defense, they're the side getting it done. And then the offense coming back, and they continue to capitalize time after time on the great plays that the defense has made.
So they've ran, their last 7 run plays, 6 of them in this half, 1 of them in the last half. 4 of them have resulted in a rushing touchdown. These are their last few run plays that I'm talking about. We're talking about a 3-yard gain for a touchdown, an 82-yard run, a 31-yard run, and an 11.
Right.
This game was short yardage, that everyone was staying in front of the Titans, not letting too many big yardage. Now it just seems like they can't get a break on defense. And this Titans team was taking advantage of their opportunities on defense, forcing 3rd and longs, and now it seems like they can't even force 2nd down. This team is struggling right now, not just on offense, defense as well. I think they're starting to lose a little hope here, Cole.
Yeah, I would agree. Starting to spiral a little bit offensively, despite having a pretty good first half. The SWC, this conference, it's part of why we love covering it. There's so many talented teams. I mean, Avon Lake, Olmsted Falls, Berea-Midpark. I mean, we can run down the list. There's a lot of competitive programs here in the conference. And you're seeing right now why the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs beat Avon Lake last week. We know Avon Lake's a very good football team in their own right. We talked about all the experience they have on defense, but it just makes sense. I mean, this team is clicking. They look really good, and you're clicking at really a perfect time with the postseason coming up. Here on the return, burst of speed past the 30-yard line, and Austin Clay's brought down, and the offense back out onto the field for the Titans.
It doesn't matter how good your defense is going against this team. You're not going to win against the Bulldogs hoping you can hold them to 21 points and only 100 overall rushing, 150 rushing yards as a team, because they can have 3 players that can get 100 rushing yards and a quarterback that can get 100 passing yards and rushing yards as well. This is a team that's high octane despite what their offensive scheme says, because usually those are teams that like 21 to 14 games. Not for the Bulldogs. If you want to beat this team, you have to put up 50 to 60 points on the board.
Yeah, the only team that won in a low-scoring game was Chardon earlier this season. Here's a throw over the middle, connects with the receiver, and going to take this one to the end zone is Matthew Sensel. So quick strike for the Titans, and they were starting to spiral, and that play does it. Put that on a dime. Troy Schick on that throw. Defensive back tried to jump it, and he paid for trying to jump it. And what a huge play for the Titans. So still 2 minutes, almost just a little under 2.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. We're still going to have, obviously, the fourth quarter coming up, so a lot of time. Now a 2-score game. Things just got a lot more interesting really quick. The PAT is up, and it is good. 35-21 still in favor of the Bulldogs. And if you're the coaching staff of Berea-Midpark, really even a supporter out there, anybody who's here rooting for the Titans, have to feel good about that. Troy Schick, things have been a little bit tough here for him in the second half. He's thrown several interceptions, forcing that football a little bit. And he's not afraid to really come back and throw it again. And that's what you have to appreciate, because he did put that one in a spot where he really needed to zip it in there, put it right on his receiver in stride, and he did so despite the defensive back that was close, because the defensive back went for that ball and jumped that route underneath because it got by him. I mean, as soon as that was caught by Sensel, nobody was catching him there. But Schick, again, like I said, good to see that he's got his head still in it. He's willing to take those chances. Little pooch kick, fielded at the 30-yard line. Pin check, getting past the 45, past the 50-yard line, and to the Titans, 46.
I mean, Pinchak is a player on fire right now, Cole. I mean, everything he does, it turns into gold.
And you see that spot there officially at the 47-yard line there. So excellent field position here again for the Bulldogs as Rossell and the offense come back out again. We've seen quick strikes from both of these teams back to back. 2 minutes left. Wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing another score here before the end of the quarter. Rossell under center. Handoff. Necker up the middle. And he keeps driving those legs forward. And he's going to make his way to the 35-yard line. Gain of 12 on that carry.
Oh, here comes this quick offense.
Rossell under center. Conti in motion, gets the pitch. He's looking for some space. Makes his way forward for a nice gain there on that first down carry. Clock continues to tick down. Rossell comes over here to the sideline.
I like that. Right out of the gate, hey, we get a first down here. Boom, right to the line. Let's keep moving forward. And then, hey, let's get back. That was definitely planned before that first play of the drive. Big fan of that.
Necker at fullback, he will get the carry. And it's going to be enough for the first down. And you're just seeing that offensive line of the Bulldogs open up huge holes, and they're taking over that line of scrimmage.
This defense unit's tired. I mean, they're subbing players we haven't seen it on defense on that defensive line. This is a team that's kind of hoping someone comes up big for them. This is just such a tough offense to just go against as a defensive lineman. You almost have to focus on your reads and just hope you get to the ball.
Here's Necker with the carry again. A really nice gain on that carry, and I think the offense just going to come over to the sideline. That should be the last play of this quarter. We're going to start the fourth quarter with a 2nd and 4 from the 18 for the Bulldogs as we switch sides of the field. We're going to step away here for the break in between the quarters, and we'll be back for the fourth quarter and the conclusion of this game.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spins Bowl. Spins Bowl has 36 lanes and a large redemption arcade with a full bar and restaurant. It is truly a good time for the whole family as it has something for everyone, young and old. Swing by their website for more info at spinsbowl.com. TNT Construction. They provide residential and commercial remodeling, construction, and building services to clients in Cleveland and all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com.
Back for the start of the fourth quarter here. Week 10 of the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week, the battle for the Bagley Cup. And right now, Olmsted Falls Bulldogs are finding a way to really take over this game. And despite giving up a touchdown just a few moments ago, they're driving once again and looking to once again go up 3 scores. 2nd and 4 from the 18. Rossell hands this off to Pinchek. Pinchek avoids a tackler. Stiff arm. Big stiff arm there, and throwing the defender to the ground, and rumbles his way inside the 10-yard line. That's a big run there by the senior.
He's just so physical. There's almost just nothing you can do if it's one-on-one. If you're doing a sideline, you need to force him out. Or if it's in the middle of the field, you just got to wrap him up. Focus on your fundamentals and hope someone else comes in to help you out. It's almost like there's 4 to 3 guys that run like that.
1st and goal from the 5. Conti gets the pitch. There's a lot of room out to the far side. Nobody's going to get to Conti here. He's going to easily just walk this one into the end zone untouched. Good play call. And that speed of Conti, too hard to deal with. And Conti at this point, what is that? Is that 5 touchdowns for Conti on the night? He has
no, that'd be
4 scores.
It's 4. So he
Impressive.
didn't score. He didn't score till late. He got their 2nd score of the game to tie the game up before half. That was a 3-yard run. Opened up the offensive half for the Bulldogs with an 82-yard run, and then had a 31-yard run a few possessions ago, and now he had a 5-yard run.
Minadio's PAT up and good, and now 42-21 in favor of the Bulldogs. So only 15 seconds has come off of the clock here in the fourth quarter. So a reminder that trip to the red zone that you just saw there as well, brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. A lot of time here left in the fourth quarter as well. Keep in mind, when we get to the conclusion of this game, we'll step away and then come right back for the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week post-game show, where we will also announce the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. Of course, a lot of players out there have had really good games. Of course, we'll see what the final result of this one is. But if things stay the way they are right now and the Bulldogs win, I'd say Rocco Conti's got a good case to end up being the Back Attack Snacks player of the game. Of course, we'll see what happens over the course of the next 11 minutes and 45 seconds, but plenty of touchdowns.
We'll have to see what his stat line is.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he adds to it as well. Here, a low line drive kick fielded just a little bit past the 10-yard line. Looking for some room. Cutting back, slipping past a few tacklers. Plenty of open space. Looks like he's going to get caught and tripped up from behind. An excellent hustle play and brought down at the 26 on the return. Wow, the Titans now have some really nice field position off of that return, and I do believe that was number 28, Noah Silva.
The special teams unit actually has done very good things with the return units on punt and kickoff. Their punt set up a touchdown drive, and the kickoff team now gives them an opportunity at the 22, I believe it's 22, or 26-yard line. Apparently I can't read the yardage correctly, but it's 26-yard line. This offense is set in a pretty position. I mean, this is exactly what you want down 3 scores, having a short field to work with. The only bad part is if you score real quick, your defense is right back on the field.
Tight end in motion from right to left. Handoff. Devens finds some space up near the 20-yard line. Second and 5. 2 receivers to the far side of the field. Schick in the gun. Devens to his right. Devens gets the carry again. Gets past the 20-yard line and brought down at the 19. So a gain of 2 on that carry. Third and 3 coming up. That clock continues to tick here right now. I think the Titans maybe had a little bit of confusion, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Here's the snap, and Schick drops the football, and he's met by multiple blue jerseys, and that one hurts for the Titans as he decided to keep that one instead of hand it off to Devens, and he paid for that decision. Loss of 5 yards, now 4th and 8 from the 24.
This is the biggest 4th down of the game. They can get it here. They have a little bit of hope.
So we've seen the Bulldogs get a stop on 4th down before from a similar position in the field. Schick pressured from behind. He's trying to scramble. He's got to find a teammate. Throws this one, intercepted. Jumping up and coming down and getting a foot down is number 3, Mark Vance. Second interception on the night.
Cole, give him that turnover belt. He deserves that. That's the second on the night. He has been phenomenal. All year. He is just he's a true ball hawk. And we really don't get to say that too much at this level. But he is a solid defensive back for them. He deserves to have that belt once again. He's being celebrated by his teammates. Right now, this is Olmsted Falls ball game to lose.
Another excellent senior on this team. Vance, a guy you don't really see on the offense too much, but on defense, he is a key for them. Conti gets the handoff. He finds some space, and he's going to get an excellent gain of really about 5 yards there on that carry. And Dom, I think everybody in Division Two, they do need to at least turn their heads and pay attention to the Bulldogs. They made a great run in the postseason last year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them make a deep run as well here in the playoffs.
Right now, the only thing holding this team back is Avon.
Mm-hmm. Rossell, keeper, finds some space, chopped down past the 25-yard line, falls forward to the 27. Yeah, and you mentioned, obviously, the Avon Eagles, an excellent team. They have a lot of ability themselves. And you do have to remember, though, Avon's win this year over the Bulldogs, it took a lot of points that Avon had to put up on the board to win that game. 42-21 here. Rossell pitches this one. Some room to run, breaking a few tackles. Jack Pinchek past the 40-yard line, down at the 42, first down again.
I mean, you know, you can score quick on Olmsted Falls, but it doesn't matter when your defense is on the field for 12 plays. Or even if they're on the field for one play. That's a very long one play, because usually that means they just ran one play 80 yards. And I will say that hurts a lot more than a receiving touchdown from that distance, just because, man, we couldn't even touch him. He just ran right down the field.
Rossell under center. Pinchek in motion. Handoff to Necker up the middle. The fullback kept those legs churning. Took 3 Titans defenders to drive him back and stop him. Gain of 4 on that carry. Now 2nd and 6 from the 46.
I think they might be averaging. They have to average maybe around 5 rushing yards a game. And that's incredible if that's the case.
Well, I would think so, especially when you have some of those big plays, 82-yard runs and things like that also help that average. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's even more than that. 2 receivers off to the far side of the field, 1 to the near side. Rossell under center. Necker, the fullback, with his hand in the dirt. The handoff to Pinchek, tiptoeing the sideline, and steps out at the 35-yard line. So the 22-yard carry there for Pinchek moves the chains, and he's been the guy that they've leaned on this drive.
He's just such a solid option for him. You know, we usually see Candow. Don't see him here today, but usually there's a 3-headed monster back there, but they still have one of sorts with Nectar back there.
Conti gets the handoff, cutting back, got so low to turn, nearly slipped, but he kept his balance and still managed to get back to the line of scrimmage and pick up a yard there. I think for most people there, they would have lost yards there, but again, just that low center of gravity, that compact way that he runs, able to manage to cut back and salvage something there on that carry. 2nd and 9 from the 34. Under 6 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter.
I don't know how he did that. I know if I did that, my ACL would snap. I got bad knees, Cole.
Well, you're an offensive lineman.
Yeah, a lot of
not
people
a running
ran
back.
my knees these days, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to quite make cuts like that. Here's the handoff. Pinchek again. Throws one defender to the ground. Not brought down, but steps out of bounds at the 25.
You know, Cole, I was somewhat of an athlete myself in high school. You know, they had a tackle screen for me for my senior night.
Okay.
We would have ran it, but we lost, so we never had the opportunity. in practice, we threw it, and the quarterback didn't like the idea of the play for whatever reason, and he threw the ball over my head, and I fell over. So
here's the handoff. Necker looking for some room. He decides to cut back, keeps that ball tucked high and tight, protecting it. And he rumbled forward past the 20 to the 19. So another trip to the red zone once again for the Bulldogs. And as always, the trip to the red zone brought to you by Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Visit them online at kelly-mac.com. Russell taking his time, taking a look at the linebackers.
Were there 9 minutes when they started this drive?
Not quite, but I do believe it was about 8 minutes left. Conti on the pitch, cutting back, makes a couple men miss. Down inside the 10-yard line, brought down at about the 7. First and goal, Bulldogs. And they are looking to pour it on. Tale of two halves in this game.
No, absolutely. The Titans, I mean, their defense was so good in that first half. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the Bulldogs' offensive line, which is much bigger than them, kind of overwhelmed them. Maybe that was the case, but this second half is one that you'd like to forget if you are a Titans supporter.
So just over 4 minutes left to go in this one. Again, following that brief little pause in action. Again, Titans player down on the far side of the field. Looks like maybe some cramping and stretching out that leg. And you know, we talked about that Titans defense really starting the game off hot. They were getting a lot of pressure there in the backfield. You saw Devin, Zahersky, and some of those defensive linemen finding their way into the backfield, making life a little bit more difficult for the Bulldogs. As the game continued to wear down, the physicality of that Bulldogs offensive line was showing, and looked like a lot of guys were sucking for wind and really tired out there. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, when there's big play after big play and you keep seeing run after run, it's never easy on defense.
You know, as an offense, I just remember some of my favorite memories of running the ball, running tempo, is running up to the coaching staff and yelling, they're tired, they can't run with us. And right now that's what's happening with Olmsted Falls. This team, I mean, all that conditioning they put in. I know all those 5 linemen up front, when they hear the whistle blow, they hate it. But it puts them in a position to be in better shape than the defensive lines they play against. And that's why they put up 42 points. It seems like at least 42 points every night that we see them play.
Russell hands this off. Necker, he's got some room here to the near side. He's going to walk in untouched into the end zone. The fullback's now got 2 touchdowns on the night. A guy who has 2 interceptions and 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Going to be in that conversation for Back Attack Snacks Player of the Game, putting up a nice little stat line himself. 48-21 on the scoreboard. Minadeo on for the PAT. He's been perfect on the night.
Yeah, he's only a junior, Necker.
Yeah,
we could see more of him next year.
And this PAT up and good. And something I want to point out, Noah Minadeo, earlier in the season, we saw some missed PATs the 2 other times we saw the Bulldogs. We saw some of those kicking mistakes and issues. I'll tell you what, the seniors corrected it. And when you're not missing PATs and you're making what's really should be a for sure point, it's a good thing he's corrected it when he has, of course, getting into the playoffs, because a point can make a difference. So that's a good sight for Bulldogs fans as well.
You know, speaking of rivalry games, last year when we were at the Silver Rail, we saw a kicker that made a defense in, I forget how to pronounce his name, starts with a V, ends with an S.
Nathaniel Vakos.
Now at Ohio.
Yep.
He keeps winning Specialist of the Week.
Not surprising. That Vakos had a leg in high school. I mean, he's a guy who could honestly, kick about a 60-yarder.
And now he's on a team that is overachieving in the Ohio Bobcats. He's part of that reason because anytime that they get to that 40-yard line, they feel like they're in field goal position, and that's because of him. He's a freshman, Cole. In the MAC conference, he is phenomenal. We saw that last year, but on top of that, special teams can make the difference. Kicking can make the difference. When you have a good kicker, especially at this level, you can win football games because of that kicker. Those 3 extra points sometimes can be the difference between winning and losing. It sounds cliche, but that's the truth there.
Driven kicked by Minadeo, fielded at the 10-yard line, looking to get out around the edge. Excellent spin, finding some space and cutting back, getting a couple extra yards as well. There is number 8, Anthony Wallace. And now, Troy Schick in the offense return at the 33-yard line. Now, speaking of the MAC conference, of course, Dom Clary here, really the head of all of our MAC coverage, has done a great job this season. Runs that Talking Maction podcast as well. And of course, you can see his written game articles this weekend at Kent State, I believe.
Yeah, we'll only have one written article today. I will be at Kent State. Ryan Struhart, our Kent State man, he will be sitting this one out. He'll be attending as a student tomorrow.
Slip there on that carry. That was number 28, Noah Silva. Loss of 2 there on that run. So now just slowing things down. Obviously 2 teams, they both want to go into the playoffs healthy. But they're still going to finish out the last couple minutes here, obviously, and you're going to see some tough physicality, and there's some cheering here from the sideline. Necker makes the tackle there, and also in there with Necker helping on that tackle. Looked like that was number 60.
Jamie Cruz.
Jamie Cruz. Listen, 5'7", 145 pounds, offensive and defensive lineman, not a big lineman, and the cheers from his sideline.
That is awesome. That might be his first tackle for loss. I believe that was tackle for loss. No, I think they get a year or 2. Might be probably his first varsity tackle.
I mean, he's
He's
playing
getting
like
a big reaction.
defensive tackle right now in the middle of that
Wait, nose
defensive
guard,
line.
Cole.
Schick on the run, rolling to his left. That one a little bit high off the hands of Kupach as it was a little behind him. He tried to turn his body, and that one incomplete. Now 4th and 10. Ball still at the 33.
Anytime that you have a young sophomore going in there and you have all the starters jumping up, I mean, that's the best position you want to be in as a team is cheering for the kids that will be playing tomorrow. The kids that are still growing, still getting taller, not there yet with strength, and you see them succeeding against starting players. I mean, that's what makes this game beautiful, Cole, especially at this level.
Schick to punt. This one up and hanging and dropping pretty close to the 35-yard line. It's going to stop at the 36. And the Bulldogs return on offense, and you now see Cruz over there on the sideline getting mauled by his teammates in a hug there with one of his coaches.
That's so good. He'll remember that for a long, long time, Cole. And so will his teammates. That's
great moment.
Yeah, fantastic moment.
1.5 minutes remaining here.
He's just getting bombarded, Cole. Oh, the entire team is on the sideline with them. Oh, he got the belt.
He's wearing that belt and rocking that thing here right now. That's fantastic. So 1.5 minutes left here. And now an opportunity for victory formation for the Bulldogs. And they're going to have to do it another time here before we wrap this game up. And Olmsted Falls is going to get the win. And to all the seniors out there, a lot of talented seniors, congratulations to them on the final regular season win here at home that they'll play. Postseason football coming up here, just right around the corner. Hard to believe we're already at that time of the year. Under a minute remaining. Here's the knee from Rossell. And it looks like they're going to have to actually do this one more time. There's probably going to be about 10 seconds left. They're just going to go ahead, go back to the line of scrimmage, snap that. There's the knee with 30 seconds left. And that's going to do it for this one. The Olmsted Falls Bulldogs not only moved to 8-2 overall on the season, 6-1 in the SWC, but they win the battle for the Bagley Cup. So a big win for them over their rivals. And Berea-Midpark, they'll make the drive back to Berea down Bagley Road with a record in the regular season of 5-5 and 4-3 in the conference. We're going to step aside and we'll be back here with the post-game show for the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Travel by Mickey. Now is the time to make memories once again, and Mickey Beachler with Travel by Mickey is just the person to make all the arrangements for your dream vacation. Reach out to her at Mickey Beachler at mousemadesimple.com to begin your next big trip today. With Mickey, you get to experience all of the fun with zero hassles or stress of any kind. From a Disney cruise to a trip to the Greek Isles, she has every dream destination covered from liftoff to touchdown. Village Coffee and Creamery. From the founders of Nancy's Main Street Diner comes Village Coffee and Creamery. They have everything from dessert, lunch items, and coffee to ice cream and every kind of sweet treat you could think of. They are located at 486 Main Street in Grafton. Westside Flea. Ohio's favorite flea market and festival will be coming back this spring and summer once again. The Westside Flea has something for everyone and will be held at North Olmsted Park on August 20th and September 17th. You can find them on Facebook at Westside Flea to learn more.
Back for the Keon Sports High School Football Game of the Week post-game show. Well, it's the last post-game show here of the season as this regular season has flown by. Cole McDaniel here with Dom Clary again as that game wrapped up and the Bulldogs won this one. We talked about them winning this rivalry game, winning the trophy, and a good finish as the postseason here coming up. Again, both of these teams, looking to make some noise, do something here in the postseason. Of course, the Berea-Midpark Titans, despite both being in the SWC, the Titans Division I, okay, and Olmsted Falls Division II. So those playoffs coming up here in just a moment. We're going to talk a little bit about a couple other things as well. But first we want to jump over to our Back Attack Snacks player of the game. They're a healthy option on the go and provide the very best option in healthy snacking. With everything from beef jerky to roasted almonds, they have it all. Visit them online at backattacksnacks.com. Dom, our Back Attack Snacks player of the game for Week 10.
Honorable mention is number 60, Jamie Cruz. He deserves that. He has that one tackle. He has the turnover belt. So
a great moment at the end of the game.
Fantastic moment.
Yep.
That moment right there is one of the reasons why we love this sport and love this level so much. But the player of the game, our Back Attack Snacks player of the game, is really a no-brainer in Rocco Connie. He had about 20 rushes in 196 yards in 4 touchdowns. I think all-purpose he had, around 217 with a 22-yard catch. That's all he had in the air. But he had 196 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was all over today. An 82-yard rush will do it for you. I mean, that's really all you needed. That broke the game wide open for them, gave them their first lead of the game, and really kept things strong here for the Bulldogs. They just ran rampant to win that one.
Yeah, that first half, really close between these two teams. Olmsted Falls didn't lead at all in the first half. They were either down or found themselves tied with the Titans. The Titans had a really good first half. Coming out of the locker room, the Bulldogs just took it to a whole nother level. They looked fantastic. Again, a team to really watch out for. Wouldn't be surprised if they make a run. Now, before we end this broadcast here for Week 10, a couple of things I want to talk about. Give plenty of shout-outs, okay? Obviously, for everybody out there who have watched and listened to this live, they've tuned in at all throughout the season. You watch the playback. Again, thank you to everybody out there for subscribing to the channel, continuing to help us grow as we continue to look to grow high school football coverage in future years to come as well. Of course, we're not done yet. We're still going to be making sure that we're covering the postseason. Of course, you're going to be able to see a lot of written recap articles on keyonsports.com, as well as plenty of coverage when it comes to the state championship games as well. And you're going to see some highlight videos going up on YouTube as well when we get to that part of the season. So there's a lot more to come. So if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Also, want to remind everybody, you've seen what we've done on YouTube here this year. If you or you know of somebody out there who would like their business to be a sponsor, get your logo, get a commercial here, make sure you reach out to CoachVin14@yahoo.com or myself, Cole McDaniel 2910@gmail.com. We'd appreciate any inquiries there about that. Again, come the new year, we'll have plenty of package offers here for next season. So make sure if you want to renew again, beyond the broadcast, or you want to get on that as well, make sure to reach out to us. Shout outs as well. Big shout out to Vince McKee, of course, as always. President, CEO of Keyon Sports. Vince might not be on this broadcast, part of this three-man crew with us here this year, but he very much so unselfishly steps aside to cover a game and also keep everything else straight, as we have nearly 30 games every week that's covered. And we have a lot of interns, a lot of staff out there, and of course he's also fielding questions and helping them out throughout the week. Vince does a great job. We want to give him the huge shout out, and a huge supporter with that move that we made about 10 months ago with YouTube. He has loved this change over to this, one of the biggest supporters of it, so I want to give a huge shout out to him. Shout out to man to my left here tonight, Brandon Soder as well. He really helped us out with the program and the technology aspect of making sure we can really get these broadcasts put together in the way that we have with incorporating that video. I, of course, wanted to make that change to video, and Brandon was that guy that really knew the tech side of things to help get that done. So huge shout out to what he did in the off season to help prep for that, and then during the season, as well as you got him on play-by-play here for 1 week as well. Again, a man that you hear at halftime too, giving us those halftime updates, and the voice of all those commercials. Big shout out to him for all that he does. Dom, I want to thank you again. It's been great to be with you. You know, sad that this regular season's coming to an end. Time has flown by. It's hard to believe. But as always, I love having you here as a color commentator. Like I said, thanks again for joining me this season.
Thanks, Cole. You know what? This journey, my journey broadcasting started with you. And every year we get to call football together. I never thought that would happen. Here we are, friends, you know, calling games, high school football. I never thought that would happen. But, boy, I look forward to every Friday in August, September, October. And hopefully one day we can do these even longer than we do them now. But it's a blast. I'm glad to be part of the crew, Cole.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, as we're about to wrap this up, the other thing I want to bring up, like I said, make sure to continue to pay attention to KeyonSports.com. As for on the Keyon Sports YouTube channel, we're not quite done here yet for the season. Don't be surprised if you see some sort of post-season podcast going up there as well. And you're probably going to hear, if not all of our voices, including Vince's, at least most of us on any given week that we're all available. We'll try to make it work and talk about the games coming up during the playoffs. Everybody out there, thanks again. That does it for the 2022 high school football regular season for us. Enjoy your weekend.